Is ready, go!
I jumped!
And everything is tight and it's not going to drop off when you go out the start gate.
And it just major pain.
Injured at all?
No, I'm fine. I can feel the blood running down my arm, but
not a very pleasant feeling.
It goes away in a week.
I think I'm just going to say good luck and get out of the way.
You want twins?
You want twins?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Memories of last year. Hello, we're back again. It's BMX Track Wars 2 1985 style for the Kellogg's Frosties Championships. It's going to be big, it's going to be good this year. We got the best from the USA and the best from the UK competing for £2,500 worth of prize money in the pro race. In fact, the winner will get £1,000 for each race. We've got 16 teams in a titanic clash of the track, and also the best freestylers, and of course, helping us do the show, Andy Ruffell.
Hello, yes, good to be back.
Great. Who we got on show from America for this
series? We've got quite a few guys. We've got nearly 20 professional riders from America. We've got Stu Thomsen, Tommy Brackens, Hollywood Mike Miranda,
brilliant.
And of course Nelson Chanady, last year's winner.
And Eddie Fiola.
Eddie Fiola, the freestyler as well.
On the freestyle. We've also got from the UK, Andy, we've got Tim March, we've got Sid Salisbury. The ladies represented again by the irrepressible Sarah Jane Nichols, and your younger brother.
That's right, yeah, it should be very interesting.
Neil Ruffell, so we'll see what he can do later on in the series. Okay, enough of the chat, let's get racing. And the rain's coming down here at St Leys Park in Birmingham, but that won't stop the racing or dampen the enthusiasm of the crowd on this specially built track. Specially built for Channel 4 Track Wars 2. We're going to start with the pro class, 16 of the very best BMXers in the world, lining up for 2 semi-finals. Our race commentator today, Dave Brenner.
Yes, the weather wet and wild. Let's hope the riding matches it. Here's the lineup for Semi-1, inland, and Richie Anderson from the States for Skyway. Tim Judge, also from the States, riding for Hutch. In lane 3, Mr. BMX himself, Stu Thomsen.
So Stu, you missed last year's BMX Track Wars. What happened last year?
Well, a few weeks prior to the leaving of the United States, I sprained an ankle in a competition.
And so you're all fired up for this term, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much. I've been looking all year for this race.
Great. Well, the weather's not too good, but I think there could be some fireworks on the track.
Well, yeah, I'll do the best I can, but it's going to be the same for everyone, so the track is okay.
From Stu in 3 to John in 4, John Lee riding for Talker. Lane 5, Hollywood Mike Miranda from the States riding for Hutch. Lane 6, the Diamondback team's Eddie King. Lane 7, last year's winner, Nelson Chanady, GT. And in lane 8, we have Scott Clark riding for Redline. Pro semi-final number 1.
This time then, guys! Riders ready, batters ready, go!
Good start by Scott Clark riding for the Redline team. Well, we've got some trouble at the back, though. We've got Mike Miranda, John Lee in trouble, and Nelson Chanady as well. That is a surprise. Last year's winner looks well out of this race. I wonder what the trouble can be there. But it's Scott Clark riding for the Redline team, getting his side off to a great start. Look at that lead. Going over the bridge. He's got 2 or 3 yards over Tim Judge in second place. Round that berm coming off the bridge. They've got to go under it in just a minute. Under the bridge goes Scott Clark, still holding that commanding lead over the field. Really, all he's got to do, barring disaster, stay on his bike to win. Coming up to the final whoops now. Over it safely, yes. Scott Clark, Redline first. Second place, Tim Judge for the Hutch team. Skyway's Richie Anderson third. Stu Thomsen for the Huffy team fourth. They're in the final.
Scott Clark coming through to win. What's it like out there?
It's real muddy. It's real slippery. My brakes aren't working. And I came out of that gate. I hit the jump and I got squirrely. It was my fault. When I landed, I hit a bunch of riders, made them bunch up. But the crash, I heard it before that happened. So I don't think I was responsible for the pileup out of the start.
There's nothing you can do if you're out in front, is there?
No, the best thing to do is just get out in front and then hold your line. It's too hard to pass right here. If you try something, you might slide out and fall. So the gate start's real important today.
Got Nelson Chanady with us. Nelson, bit of a tumble at the start?
That's right. Chain snapped.
Why was that?
We tangled up out of the gate about 10 feet out of the gate, and it got really bad. King's bars are bent and my chain fell off. I've never seen anything like it.
Drama in semi-1, time now for number 2.
Okay, up at the start again, Anthony Sewell. Now, you're an American, right? And you're coming to live in Birmingham.
That's right.
Why is that?
Well, it'll give me a chance to do a little traveling for a little while, and presumably things go right, I'll be staying.
Good. What do you think of this track today? Bit wet, but generally.
A bit wet, but the course is pretty laid out pretty good. I like it.
Anthony Sewell then in lane 1, riding for Wheels. Lane 2, that's Harry Leary, Diamondback. Lane 3, Sid Salisbury, SE Racing. In lane 4 for the GT team, Tommy Brackens. Lane 5, one of the Patterson brothers from the States, that's Brian, riding for Team Patterson. In lane 6, Geth Shooter, the promising youngster, riding for Redline. Lane 7, Gary Ellis, Team Huffy. And in lane 8, Tim March, MRD, and they're all his own too. Big surprise, no Andy Ruffell, he didn't make it. Pro semi-final, number 2.
Riders ready, fighters ready, go!
Great start by Tommy Brackens for the GT team. He should come into this first speed jump first. He does, but it's Geth Shooter. This could be a surprise in second place. Still Brackens from Shooter. Ooh, Tim March losing his pedals there. That's going to put him right out of it, but it's still Tommy Brackens and Geth Shooter going into the bridge. Gary Ellis in 4th place, but losing it, overtaken there by Leary and Patterson. Gary Ellis fancied his chances, I know, of making it through to the final. Could be out of it, though. Brackens, Shooter, Sewell, Leary going into the last speed jump. Over that, into the whoops. Tommy Brackens, GT first. Geth Shooter, Redline second. Anthony Sewell, 3rd for Wheels. Harry Leary for Diamondback, nearly caught by Gary Ellis on the line, but he's safely through.
Right, Tommy Brackens in there. 1st position. Is it tough?
Slippery.
Yeah?
Really slippery. All over the place. You gotta watch your lines. You can't really come out the turns real strong. You can't lead too far forward on your bike without your tires spinning.
And it's taking it out of you a bit as well.
Pardon me?
It's taking it out of you. Hard work.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah?
A lot.
In 2nd place, Geth Shooter. 1st year as a pro.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's only my 2nd season in BMX racing. So
And what's it like being up here with these lads that you've obviously been looking at over the last few years?
it's hard. Very hard.
Good place though, 2nd.
Yeah, well pleased.
Good stuff. And in the final now.
Yeah.
Any predictions?
I'll tell you after the final.
So that tasty piece of riding has certainly given the crowd a bit to chew on. Geth Shooter, great performance, the only UK rider among 7 US top guys in the big final. We'll see that a bit later on, but a big name missing though is Hollywood's Mike Miranda. One of the most colourful characters on the BMX scene. Welcome back to Britain.
Thank you, I love it here. Glad to be back. Wish the weather was a little better, but who can complain?
Listen, you may have read or you may have heard about this extraordinary new bike that Mike's riding for this championship for the first time in this country as well. This Hutch bike. Tell us a bit about it.
Well, the bike's named after me. It's called the Hollywood Series. It's the first time I've had a bike named after me. It's got exotic colors. I run pink and I also have a purple one at home.
Lovely.
It's very lovely. It really gets a lot of attention. It attracts the eye.
Well, tell us then, why pink?
Well, I tell people off the street, I just tell them, well, I always wanted to be a girl. But I break down and tell them the truth that I tell them that it's just for attention.
And why does it cost so much money? What, £1,200?
If you'd pick the bike up, you'd see it's one of the lightest pro bikes made.
Yeah. Right, but I mean, is that worth sort of like, you know, forking out that much money?
Well, if you want to win, you got to have a light bike. The pedals alone cost £100.
Well, Mike, it's lovely to have you back again because the crowd certainly do enjoy seeing you over here, and I'll see them earlier on clamouring to get some of your stickers.
Well, it's great to be back, and if it's anything I love about the English crowd, they're so enthusiastic.
Well, now it's time for the team championship. The first main, the 14-year-olds, is on the line. Join us for that in just a few wheelies' time.
Back with the action and the 14's main. That's the lineup. Wayne Llewellyn, Team Amoco, lane 3. He's the one they're going to be gunning for, reigning European and UK champion. Look out for Andy Welch in 8. And Gary Chamlowitz, that's him, lane 7, riding for Redline. That's his feet. Size 15, would you believe? Not a pretty sight. Get to the soul of it. Nearly ready for the off. Points counting for the Frosties Team Championship. Over to you then, Mr. Starter.
It's time then Riders ready, fighters ready, go!
Wayne Llewellyn, Paul Clarkson breaking first, going into that first speed jump. Llewellyn takes it first, Clarkson just behind him. We've got Derek Owen trying to come through on the inside, doesn't make it though. Still Llewellyn and Clarkson. With Steve Bell riding for Team Rebel third, Gary Chamlowitz red line fourth place. But look at Llewellyn go over that bridge. This is really aggressive riding from the reigning UK and European champion. Coming a blitzer off the top of the berm, that's Andy Welsh. What a surprise, not his day today. Still Wayne Llewellyn, Paul Clarkson, Steve Bell, Gary Chamlowitz. The rest are nowhere. Look at those four leading by a street. Wayne Llewellyn over the final whoops, no problem, in at first place. Paul Clarkson, hotshot second, Steve Bell, Rebel third, Gary Chamlowitz, red line fourth. The race, though, firmly Wayne Llewellyn's.
Okay, well, that's 8 points in the bag there for the Amoco team. Good start, yeah?
Oh, yeah, very good start. You know, we want to win, really.
It's very wet. Any tips on how you can, take those corners and jump those jumps?
Yeah, well, take the jumps as low as you can, but make sure you land straight and not at an angle. Like in the wet, your back will slide out. And on the corners, slow down when you're going into them. Right. And don't lean it down too much.
Well, the rain's still causing headaches, but Andy, who do you fancy for the 15-year-olds?
Well, we've got Whopper Watkins in lane 1, which is a pretty good draw. We've also got Tim Print in lane 5. Now, I'll have to watch out for him because he's a very fast gaiter. Now, we've got Tom Lynch in lane 8, which is a bit of a bad draw. I don't think he'll be too happy with that.
Watkins, Print, Lynch the ones to watch for as they gate, and it's Print that gets away first. What a good start by him and by Tom Lynch on the outside despite that bad draw. Print first over that speed jump, but going into the whoops, it's Whopper Watkins taking the lead over now. Watkins, Print, Lynch, David Morris trying to come through the middle. A little bit of trouble there on that first sweep up, not sure what happened there, but to Whopper Watkins' advantage going over the bridge first. Tom Lynch second, David Morris third. Oh, did you see that? Tom Lynch nearly going into a broadie off that berm, nearly coming unstuck, but he recovers well, amazingly. Keeps second place, but it's Whopper Watkins in the lead. This race looks in the bag now. No, it isn't. He's left the door open, and it's Tom Lynch coming through on the inside. Lynch takes it, Watkins second, Morris third, Hill fourth. But what happened back on the hill earlier? Here it is again, Dave Morris, elbows, naughty boy. Ref will have something to say about that.
Well, Dave has been disqualified for T-boning.
So, Dave, you finished, what, third?
Third, yeah.
And you've been placed?
Last.
Right, can we bring...
disqualified, no points at all.
No points at all for Amoco. Right, bring the referee in. Was that true what Andy was saying, yeah?
Not exactly true. The offence was committed in the referee's and the assistant's decision. He was placed last, he didn't accept the decision, and that's why he was disqualified. Wasn't disqualified for the offence, simply not accepting the referee's decision.
If he'd accepted the decision, he
would have gone last.
I've got a right to complain, though. You can't just say, no, we're not taking it any further, you're just disqualified. You've got to listen to me.
He's experienced, he knows the referee makes a responsible decision. Right or wrong, his decision will stand.
David Morris unnecessarily costing his team 1 valuable point. Hotshot team is well out in front with 15 points. So after 2 mains, that's the state of the top 8 in the team championship. Now Dave's eyeing up the girls.
As always, Mick, as always, there's the lineup for the girls' main. Yeah, you recognise that name, don't you? Sarah Jane Nichols in lane 2, riding for Redline, cleaned up last year, aims to do the same this year. That is Karen Murphy. If anyone can stop Sarah Jane, she can. Ready for the start, watch the lights. Away, and Sarah Jane off like a train, as you'd expect, gets the whole shot going into that first speed jump. She's in the lead, she's clear. Question is, not who's going to win, who's going to come second. It's Rachel Holmes in second spot at the moment, Karen Murphy third, Donna Duffy is fourth, but Sarah Jane cruising it now. Going into that bridge, over it, no problem. She could almost afford a stop, have a cup of tea, remount and still win this race. Look at that lead she's got. Through the berm, Sarah Jane, well, what can you say about this girl? Really cleaned up last year, won 5 out of 6. Going to do the same this year and get a valuable 8 points in the process for Team Redline. Here comes Sarah Jane. She wins it. Who's going to come second? Rachel Holmes second, Karen Murphy third, Donna Duffy fourth. But that was so easy, wasn't it, for Sarah Jane Nichols?
Any problems on that one? I mean, you were well out in front, so you can get a good view of the track, yeah?
Yeah, it's a bit slippery on all the corners, though.
Any danger spots for you? You know, you're picking up tips for perhaps later in the series?
It's on that over there. It's really slippery.
Right, near the hay bales, yeah? Right, let's have a chat to the young lady who comes second. Andy, who you got there?
Okay, well, we've got here Rachel Holmes. Now, Rachel, I hear you're going out with one of the British professionals. So, with Geth Shooter now, has he been giving you any tips? Because you're riding pretty well today.
A few, but not really, no.
Oh, I see. So, so how do you think your performance? Pretty good?
Yeah, quite good, pleased. Yeah, very pleased.
So, Rachel's performance moves JMC Rainbow into 4th place, but Hotshot and Redline share the lead.
Okay, something you may have heard because of the Kellogg's Championships is team poaching. Richard, go on, tell us something a bit about that.
The thing that went this year, I suppose, that caused the most furore was, of course, the move from Amoco Mongoose of Andy Ruffell to Rally.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever quite revealed what figures were involved, but it sounded like it was getting up into the football transfer market.
Really?
Yeah.
And any other big names taking the transfer?
Well, you've seen some of the American riders. If you go back to last year's Kellogg's, Mike Miranda was riding for Talker. He's now moved to Hutch.
Do they not actually have contracts, though, or is it just like an unwritten agreement?
Well, there are contracts, and sometimes people try to hold people to the contract, and sometimes they don't. Probably the sort of most interesting sort of controversy on the circuit at the moment is the absence of Stu Diggins, who was on the rally team and decided that he didn't want to stay there. A lot of people think that Stu actually threw up a very good contract. That was certainly worth the 4-figure sum, which is for somebody still at school, isn't bad going.
Is it good for BMX as a whole, do you reckon, when all these dealings, some undercover dealings taking place?
I think it's good. Last year we probably had a handful of riders who were making a living from BMX. This year I think the numbers are probably sort of up to 30 or 40.
OK, back to the track. Let's see the 16-year-olds earn their points.
And remember that going into this race, Hotshot and Redline, top of the points table, 17 points apiece. That's Darren Stock. He won his class last year, out to do the same this year. Let's see how he can make out.
This time then, guys! Riders ready, paddles ready, go!
Stock, along with all the other lads, off to a good start. Stock rising first over that jump, but Darren Woods squeezed like a grape right out of this race. Darren Stock, Halford's first place, Nigel Murphy second, Dale Goodwin third, John Stockwell fourth. Darren Stock cleaned up last year. I wonder if he's going to do the same this year, opening up a big lead like Sarah Jane Nichols did in the last race. Question is, who's going to come second, third and fourth? Well, no question about who's going to come first. That's Darren Stock out under the bridge, a considerable lead, a good 10-15 yards over the rest of the field. Darren Stock cruising for the line now. Who's going to come second or third? Dale Goodwin trying to get through on the outside. Think Nigel Murphy. Yes, Nigel Murphy holds on for second. Dale Goodwin third. John Stockwell fourth. But an easy win for Darren Stock.
So Hotshot now clear leaders. Now it's freestyle time, and the king of them all, the flying banana, Eddie Fiola. Eddie Fiola leads the most impressive lineup of world freestylers ever assembled in the UK. See them in action next week. So from the reigning freestyle champ to a reigning track, time for the Superclass.
And water lineup we've got for you in this, the last team points race of the afternoon. That's Harvey Monkton in one, but the man to watch, very definitely Gary Llewellyn, Team Amoco. Llewellyn's brother, of course, Wayne, already won the 14's main this afternoon. Also watch out for Craig Schofield. He's Andy Ruffell's teammate with the Raleigh outfit.
Ready, go!
Good break by Gary Llewellyn, Simmons, Schofield and Gray all up there with him. Over that, it's tight. Going into the whoops. Who's come a blitzer on that? It's Tony Holland. He's down, clash with Harvey Monkton there, but still Llewellyn with it, with Schofield in second place, driving on for the bridge now. Llewellyn and Schofield, these two keenest rivals in Superclass, but what has happened to Craig Schofield? Got into a broadie going off that bridge there. Paul Gray overtakes him, goes into second place, but still Gary Llewellyn with the pace as they go under the bridge now. Llewellyn over it, Simmons, Schofield jumping back, taking third spot. Llewellyn driving for the line now, Simmons trying to take him, Schofield third, Gray fourth. Can Simmons get through? No, Llewellyn just keeps his first place. On the line, Chris Simmons second, Craig Schofield third, Paul Gray fourth. That was the best race we've seen this afternoon. And just look at that finish.
Right, Gary Llewellyn, you've done it.
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty simple.
Very tight at the end. I don't know how they actually sorted it out there. You just got it by a wheel, I reckon. And he's tired.
So at the end of week 1, here's how the team championship looks. Amico and Redline lead the pack with Hotshot a wheel behind. And the huge crowd are glued to their seats here at St Leys Park in Birmingham, eagerly anticipating a great finale. There's a lot of money at stake with the cream of the world's bikers out to get it.
Right then, here we go, the final of the pros, and we've got £2,500 in prize money on this race, and the winner's going to get 1,000 smackers. Stu, you are looking really mean. Do you fancy this money, eh?
It always makes the wallet just a little bit fatter. I'm here to put on a good show, and I want to finish in the top 3. I'll settle for second and third.
So, from the US to the UK, there's just one British representative on the gate, and that's 17-year-old Geth Shooter from Derbyshire. Geth, how are you feeling?
Quite pleased. I'm happy to make the final.
That's right. Now, does it actually influence your racing much when you know you've got £1,000 on the line?
Not really. I don't really think about it because it's only my second season, so I'm just happy to make finals.
Well, it'll be an achievement to end all achievements if Geth Shooter does do it. He's in lane 5, alongside probably the favourite for the race, Mr. BMX himself, Stu Thomsen. But Geth Shooter in 5. Watch for the red visor on his helmet.
Best man wins, set him up, and good luck. This time then, riders ready, paddles ready, go!
Thomsen away like a rocket as we thought he would, bearing down on that first whoops like a bat out of hell, but Geth Shooter is still with him. Thomsen first, Shooter second, but Shooter overtakes Thomsen on that whoops. Thomsen didn't take it well at all. Tim Judge came a blitzer on that whoops there. He's out of it, but look at this. It's Geth Shooter, the only Brit in the race, first over the bridge, and Thomsen trying every trick in the book to take over that first spot. Lost it on the second whoops, but still somewhere to go in this race yet. Still Geth Shooter though. Stu Thomsen, Richie Anderson, Anthony Sewell up into 4th going under the bridge, but Geth Shooter, he's going to be £1,000 richer. What a surprise! This is the only Brit in the field takes it. Stu Thomsen 2nd, Richie Anderson 3rd, Anthony Sewell 4th, but what a win for the Brits.
Geth, what a performance. He's pulled it off for the Brits. What a great race. Well done.
Oh, well pleased.
How about that?
Chuffed.
The crowd were going absolutely berserk in the stand over there, and the teammates are going absolutely potty. Andy, what a race. Yeah?
Totally excellent, yeah. Very unexpected. I mean, Geth just got out of that gate and went for it, held his own, and now he's won it. Excellent.
I mean, you pulled out, and I think your mum and dad's coming in as well, are they? Oh. What do you reckon about that then, Mum?
Oh, fantastic. Brilliant.
And I think his girlfriend's coming over as well. Here she is. Oh, go. Censored.
So at the end of round 1 of Track Wars, a Brit leads the pro field. Geth Shooter up at the top with 8 points, leading Stu Thomsen and Richie Anderson. What a day.
Right, we started in the rain, let's end in the rain here at Birmingham, and next week some exciting freestyle for you. But the highlight this week had to be...
Well, it's definitely Geth Shooter's performance in the pro class main. I mean, it really was exceptional. The Americans just didn't expect, as Tommy Brackens said, a British rider to win the final.
And will that wind the Americans up?
Yeah, I should think they'll be pretty upset, and in the next main, they'll be back with a vengeance, that's for sure.
And will it wind like you and Tim March and the British lads up as well?
Yeah, definitely. You know, hopefully in the next one we can do a little bit better than we've done this one. And of course, the track is holding out superbly. City of Birmingham have done a fantastic job on it. So if the track holds out like it is, it should be some very good racing.
Right, well, we're going to change slightly the St Leys Park track around for the next programme in Track Wars 2. So if you want to see something more exciting than this week, join us next week on Channel 4, 5 o'clock. See you then.